Behind the Deal, coming at you guys again. What's up, Beau? What's up, Brady?
How's it going?
What's up?
Dude, so Beau, you, I think, are one of the top salesmen without even knowing about it of the solo stove. So I've been seeing you post on Instagram, and I keep on seeing people around me get it. I think Pete got it because of your stuff. I bought several of them. I'll be giving us some gifts, dude. How do you love it?
Dude, that solo stove, I swear, and they do not pay me, but man, it really is legit. My wife wanted a gas fireplace outside, but besides me digging this, trenching in gas lines and stuff,
there it is.
I just decided I did research, and they said this was smokeless. My wife did not want to have smoky hair, probably like a lot of ladies. And I got that, and I was skeptical about the smokeless effect, but it's 100% legit. It is absolutely phenomenal once you actually get it lit and hot.
I love it, dude. So like I said, I took advantage of their darn Cyber Monday deal. I bought several of them for gifts, and we're going to have one. And the reason I bring this up is, number one, it's a family thing. Like, it's not just a darn outside stove. It's something you can hang out with around your family. And if you guys are looking for a cool gift, check it out, Solo Stove. I make no money from it, but Beau, thanks for turning us onto it.
Man, it's great. Our kids love having like s'mores and all that kind of fun stuff, man. It's just great.
Awesome. So guys, as you guys are piling in here, we're going to talk about a deal that we're calling the $10,000 house. And so we'll break it down what that house is. It's kind of like an add-on to a deal he was already doing. Got the lead from online. We're going to walk through how the whole thing happened. But before we do, while we're on the Cyber Monday topic, so here at Carrot Guys, we do a Cyber Monday deal every year. It's literally the only sale that we ever do. We never discount our products. We don't need to. We actually just add more value on top of stuff. And so what we're doing through the rest of this week, go check it out, carrot.com/cyber. If you're a Carrot customer, you can take this deal over here. It's the Ultimate Growth Hacker Bundle. It's only $500. It's going to include a bunch of amazing trainings and our Google Ads campaign, $60 of deal machine credits, Entrepreneur's Freedom Formula training, where I'm going to walk you through how to buy back more freedom in your business. And one thing that we're going to be doing too, starting next week, is we're going to be doing something we call 60 Days to a Deal series, where we're actually going to walk you through picking a new market, y'all. We're going to pick a brand new market, and we're going to launch ads in that market to a Carrot website. We're going to hopefully get leads pretty quickly and hopefully close a deal in the first 60 days. So go to carrot.com/cyber if you're a Carrot customer. The $500 bundle is for you. The other bundle, the $99 bundle, is for all people who are not Carrot customers yet that are wanting to join. Check it out. You get a couple months of Carrot subscription included and some other amazing things too. So carrot.com/cyber. So Brady's got the Carrot Claws hat on. Dude, what gift do we have for the Carrot community here this week today?
Ho, 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 Carrot community. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see, but I'm wearing a very loud, very ridiculous, bright orange Carrot Claus hat. I almost said Santa Claus, but it's Carrot Claus. What we have, Trevor, is we're doing something special on today's Behind the Deal. We're actually going to be giving away a Cyber Monday package. And so it doesn't matter if you're already a Carrot member or not. All you got to do, stay tuned into this live that you're watching right now. And what you got to do is make a social post on Instagram and use hashtag behind the deal. Tag either Carrot, at Get Carrot, what your favorite takeaway was. So share it on social. I mean, you could take a picture, your computer with your cell phone, screenshot. I don't care. Just what you loved about today's episode of Behind the Deal. Use hashtag Behind the Deal. By the end of the episode, we're going to go look and see who posted with that hashtag. And I'm going to pick a winner, and we're going to give you a totally free Cyber Monday package with everything that Trevor just mentioned. The 60-day to a deal training, everything in there. So use the hashtag at any point in the episode. We're going to pick a winner at the end.
Dude, we're going to give away one of these too. So we're going to give away a Carrot Claus hat to that person too. So I'm going to ship this hat off to you guys, the Carrot Claus hat. The winner's going to get that as well. So guys, engage. It'll be fun.
That hat is worth more than the over $2,000 of training we've worked on for years.
Dude, you can't buy the hat. You can't buy the hat.
You can't. It's priceless.
I love it. So guys, we've got a deal that we're going to break down, and we're going to dive deep into it. I do want to answer any questions you guys have coming up as well. But we've got an awesome video here for you. And Beau, one thing I want to call out is kind of give you kudos on. I just played this audio. I'm not going to play it on here. Maybe I'll do it in a future week from a Voxer message with one of our Carrot clients, a Carrot camper named Aaron Moore up in Canada. And Aaron hit me up with a Voxer the other day, yesterday, when I was walking around, I jam in Voxers, and he's basically saying just gratitude messages, saying, "Hey, I'm so grateful for what you've done for me, but also what Carrot and you have done for the entire industry, the entire wholesaling and flipping industry." And the reason I bring this up here, Beau, is he said he feels that there's a lot more beacons of positivity in the world and in the industry because of the example that we've been, and that there's so many more ethical and honest investors than there were a decade ago, he feels. And I think we were a small part of it. We weren't the only ones who did it. But I bring this up because you're one of those guys. Like, you're one of the guys who goes to truly serve sellers, truly serve buyers, truly solve people's problems. And that's how this deal is too. So why don't you kind of break down really high level on this deal, and then we'll play the video.
Yeah. So, and we're talking about the $10,000 deal, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, so this deal, we're in the office. The lead comes in, and our acquisitions person, Madison, she gives this person a call, and just has a regular conversation with the seller. And the seller is two police officers in our town who had a rental portfolio, and that were liquidating their portfolio, and this was the last property that they had together. And so this deal was just a simple deal in the sense of, so I thought that they were going to just sell us the property. And they said, my acquisitions person said, "You know what do you want for the property?" And the guy said, "You know what? No offer is going to offend us." And she told me that. I was just like, I remember I was walking to my kitchen in my office, and I said, "Well, just offer him $10,000." And I kind of said it flippantly, and she was like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, just offer him $10,000. If we can get it for 10 grand, that would be crazy. And let's just offer him 10 grand." So she called him, offered him $10,000, and they actually took it.
Dude, so how big is the house? And we'll show the video, but kind of break it down. Was it in okay condition? Was it going to take a ton of repair? Kind of, what was the overall condition? How big was it?
It's actually currently rented. It's actually currently rented right now, and it has, I believe, 3 beds, 1 bath, and it was in shockingly good condition, which, for $10,000, shockingly good condition, which I believe we have some of the photos and stuff like that of that to show. So, shocking. I mean, shockingly good condition for $10,000.
This is cool. I love it. So, guys, let's play the video without further ado. We're going to watch the behind the deal video from Beau Hollis in Louisville, Kentucky on the $10,000 deal. And we're going to break it down afterwards, answer your questions. So start to prepare your questions, guys. If you're a newer investor and you're wondering, how the heck do you have the conversation with the seller? How do you make an offer like that that's low and serve that seller? Why did they accept it? What did you say when you walk through the property? How do you do repair estimates? Whatever it is. Bring those questions, get them ready, and then start to send them through. We're going to answer them. So let's roll the video.
So this 10K deal we got from our Carrot site, came in as a lead. The seller wanted to sell their property. So our acquisitions person, Madison, she actually gave the person a phone call, went and saw the property. There were several people in the home at this time. I think there's 4 or 5 occupants in the house.
Do you guys have leases? A lease?
And he said it was rented for $500. The house is in actually relatively good shape.
Do they have a deposit? A deposit?
Yes, but it's not gonna, I don't vote to get that.
She came back, showed me the pictures, and I just said, let's just make a good offer on the property.
Someone gets a stink at some point, and if it goes to that point, and I don't have a copy of a lease or some original lease to go to court with, or some deposit, and some judge and say, "Where's this deposit?" That kind of stuff just could cause a problem down the road.
She told the person who was the seller that we probably would be making a lower offer, and the seller actually made the comment, "No lowball offer will offend us." I just told her, I said, "Madison, just offer him $10,000. Well, she makes an offer of $10,000, and the guy accepts $10,000 for this property.
They didn't even come back with a counter offer. They were just like, "I was expecting more, but we'll accept $10,000. I was like, "I'll send you the contract."
So I decided to close the property. That's how we got a $10,000 house.
I do think that this is wrong. I think I'm supposed to pay his closing costs.
Well, it turns out the tenant was not paying $500.
And is there did they pay rent already this month or no? Or?
When I called the tenant up, I said, "Hey, I'm your new landlord. Is it possible that they are just not going to pay me, or I just bought the property and I just wanted to let you know here's how you pay your rent and all that kind of stuff." And well, hey, that's not my name. And this is my name. And he goes, and this doesn't work on the property. And this doesn't work on the property. Great. I'll send somebody out there to fix it and we'll take care of it. And I don't pay $500 a month. My rent is actually $475.
Were you planning on them staying there, or?
Well, gotta pay to stay. He goes, and I'm not paying you. All right, buddy.
Right.
You gotta pay to stay. So if
if
they don't want to pay, then proceeded the legal proceedings of eviction. That's how this business goes sometimes, and we're in the middle of that. You still have to do the Guinness World Record for the fastest closing. There's no way that's been done. Certainly, I can set that record. World record for fastest real estate closing. But hey, it's $10,000 house. What do you expect?
Dude, so Beau, what was that the fastest closing that you've had, or?
No, we kind of have a standing joke at our attorney's office, Borders and Borders, here in town. And if you're a local investor around town, I would highly recommend you guys use these people. They're very investor friendly, investors themselves, and they're awesome. But typically they know exactly what I do. And I actually bought this house with my own money and closed on it. So it was a really simple transaction. As far as you go in, and it is like 6 or 7 papers, and they set them all in front of me, and I just take a pen and I just go sign every single one of them, and it's done. And I think we've done them in 2 or 3 minutes before, really, really fast closings, just totally super fast. And so I really would like to see if there is a record for that. And if not, set that record.
There we go, dude. That's a 2022 goal.
Yeah,
2022 goal.
Just to see. The closing was fine. It was a fine closing. They didn't bring deposits to the table. So I had to bring another senior attorney in because I know I'm owed that money, right? That is my money. And the landlords, they disputed that because the damage had already been done to the property. And I said, well, no offense. I said, but no offense, but this is kind of one of those things where you're transferring the ownership to me and I'm taking the tenant. So I get to have that money because I'm the one dealing with the damage, not you. Right. And so I had to explain that. The attorney backed me up on this. And then, but at the very end, they were still fighting me. So I decided, you know what? You keep the deposit, but if they come after me, I'm going to call you and you're going to pay this deposit.
Yep.
Right. And that's how that kind of went. And it was fine. The closing was okay, but then everything kind of went south whenever I went to reach out to the tenant.
And go for it, Brady.
We got our first question popping in here. James Hartquist, how much is the property worth?
I would say the property, now this is an area of our town where it is not really an ARV style property, meaning that this is not a flip style house. This is a house where it's a rental property where you're just buying this for the cash flow. But if you were to sell it and fix it up a little bit, I mean, it might be worth 60 grand or something like that. I mean, maybe a little bit more, but once I get the tenant out of there, I assume I can sell this for $30,000 all day.
Dude, so what with this seller? The question is probably popping up, and James had a great question there, right? So you bought it for $10K. You could do some minor fix up, sell it for around, or you could do some fix up, sell for 60. You could probably take this property, sell it for 30. So there's a good profit margin in there, but let's kind of look at the problem that the seller was facing. So what was motivating him to make the sale, and especially to accept that low offer? Because you didn't have to negotiate. You weren't guys, this is where the ethics and honesty in this business comes in, is anybody can make an offer, right? No one's forcing that person to take the 10,000. Beau just chose make the offer, and then that'll start a conversation, right? JP, what's up, man? But on that specific one, what was his motivation?
JP, text me, buddy. You're the last person I text today. Text me, buddy. I'll sell you the house in a second. I'll sell it to you for $29,900.
There we go.
And so, I think that Now let's just talk about big picture wholesaling for a second, and like why people sell properties at a discount. Like that's, I think, the bigger question of versus what they're going through as a group, right? People sell properties at a discount, whether they tell you or not. They sell properties at a discount because they're going through something. They're going through something. Maybe it's a breakup in the partnership, and they don't really want to tell you that, right? They just want to say, hey, we're getting out of the business. It's our last one, right? That sounds really nice to say it's our last one and they're just done, but maybe there's a breakup going on there between partners, something like that. Maybe that they've dealt with this tenant for so long and they hate the tenant. Maybe that they just can't stand that tenant anymore. They don't want to deal with them. They're tired of their games. They just want to be done with it. So instead of trying to evict the tenant and get them out, or maybe there's family ties to that tenant, or they've known a family member of that tenant for a long time, and if they evict them, they're going to make Aunt Betty upset, or something like that. So there's typically deeper rooted issues when it comes down to people, why they would accept an offer. And most times people accept an offer that is really, really low, like this one, because they just want to walk away, right? Because of their problems or what could happen if they were to fix the problems.
Gotcha.
Right? So if they were to fix these problems, like evict the person who's not paying, that would be a bigger backlash than just taking their money and walking away. So
evicting the person, doing the repairs that were required, that they might be getting into something that they didn't want to, or have the cash to do so.
Yes.
Cool. And so guys, especially the newer investors who are listening to this, the biggest mindset shift, and I want to talk about, what's your acquisition gal's name again?
Madison.
I want to talk about Madison, her mindset shift, and we'll answer some more questions. But the big thing here, especially for newer investors watching this, is there has to be a mindset shift here towards recognizing and realizing the value that you truly are playing in this. Because a lot of newer investors that we'll talk to, they'll think of the word, the phrase lowballing, right? Because people say, oh, you just lowball. Guys, it's not lowball if part of the value that you're bringing is solving the problem. And so the actual solving of the problem is worth money. Okay, it's actually worth money. It's not just your time. Your time and your expertise is worth real money. So yeah, you're paying the person $10,000 in cash, but you're also bringing tens of thousands of dollars in experience and problem solving ability to take care of their problem. And like you said, it might be causing them stress every month. It might be actually making them lose extra money. And you're able to come in, give them money, and then bring other value to solve the problem. This same property could not be taken care of as easily on the retail market. Maybe it could. JP could see in the retail market, scoop it up because he's an investor too. But the traditionally minded agent, the traditionally minded retail buyer probably wouldn't be easy to sell this.
Yeah, it's a lot of times too, people do not want to buy a problem, right? They do not want to actually have, they don't want to buy an eviction like that. So a lot of times people don't even think like that. And I'm inheriting somebody else's problem. And my offer is, hey, $10K, I'll close when title's done.
Yep.
And we literally closed in less than 7 days, or roughly 7 days ish from when we got that contract to close was about 7 days. And speed and convenience for these people was a big deal because they just wanted to walk away. They didn't want to deal with this, whatever the truth was, which I didn't get the truth. Whatever the truth was, they didn't want to tell me. And it's easier for them just to walk away and be like, hey, I'm out.
Yep.
And so for them, they accepted them. We made one offer and they accepted the offer.
I know your website, your business name is Simply Sold. Do you use any of that verbiage around, how fast you can close in any of your marketing, like close within 7 days? Do you use any of that?
I actually think that we recently have even said something in our marketing as closing in as little as 3 days. Because we are actually a direct buyer.
Yeah.
So that makes us a little bit different than a lot of other people who are in this business. So when you become a direct buyer, it really comes down to speed and your relationships with your attorneys that gets you to be able to close quick. So if I can call up Harry right now and be like, hey man, I need to close the house in an hour, or, something like that. If the title's done, I could literally just pop in there and sign if I had those relationships right. So we've closed in 3 days before, but yes, I use that in my marketing just because, let's say someone comes to me and their auction is Friday, and I don't want to go off tangent here, but auction's Friday, it's Wednesday, and I need to be able to close by the time the auction happens. I need them to look at my marketing, look at my website, and say, hey, this guy says he could. Let's see if my situation would be, he could be a solution for my problem.
It's like you are the Amazon Prime. It's like delivered by Friday in one day, and everyone else is
that's exactly
you get
right.
that weird product. It's like a month and a half out. May arrive February 2022.
I love it. So, Beau, let's kind of go into, I want to briefly talk about the mindset for Madison, and then we're going to talk about the tenant situation. Because if any of you guys have ever faced a deal where there's a tenant in it, especially a tenant that's not a friendly tenant and they're not paying, Beau's came on behind the deal several times talking about he's dealt with the tenant issue. So we're going to walk through a little bit on how to do with that. But dude, for Madison, you could tell in that video, it was kind of like a mind blown moment for her. So what kind of mindset shift did you see her have once she gave that $10,000 offer? Did she think it was even going to halfway get accepted? And what mindset shift did she have after she ended up seeing, man, this offer that we thought was going to be way too low, it got accepted?
I remember I was going to the kitchen when she was passing me. She goes, hey, this guy, he wants an offer. And, she's brand new. She's eager. And I knew where it was in town. And I said, I flippantly just said, just make him a $10,000 offer. Mm-hmm. And I remember her stopping and saying, what? Like $10,000? I said, yeah, just make the offer. And here's how I want you to do it. I want you to say, yeah, we would need to be at $10,000. Shut your mouth and just say it. And she was like, okay, I'm going to do what you say. So she did it and they accepted. And then once they accepted that offer, it was like, oh my gosh, for her. But I remember the same thing happened to me. And a friend of mine taught me how to make low offers that would get accepted. And the thing that he said to me, though, was, hey, man, you can't get a low offer accepted unless you make it. And that's the truth. Like, you can't go down in negotiations. You can't change your mind. Like, hey, I'm at 100,000. You know what? I think I want to change my mind and be at 60. Yeah. Like you can always go up from a $60,000 offer to 100, but you cannot go in reverse. Dude,
and one thing you've talked about too on Behind the Deal, and we've talked about it on other content together on the negotiation series. So team link up the negotiation series in this that Beau is a part of as well. One thing that you do, and I'll do, and a lot of other salespeople do too, is you can throw down kind of a crazy offer to get them to anchor, to get them anchored on some other price or value. So with Carrot, or if you're selling something else, I can anchor to a really high price that's so crazy high that I can laugh about it, right? If I throw out the number, then they're just silent for a while. I'm like, oh, just kidding. It's not going to be anywhere near that price. But now you've anchored them there, and you're doing it with humor, and that's something that you do quite a bit as well. Where if you're throwing down a crazy offer or a zero price offer, sometimes you're like, oh, I want the property for free, is what you'll say. Yeah. It's so good because it disarms people, but then it does give you the chance to be able to then come back and, oh, just kidding, if it's a crazy offer like that, to get their gauge for it. So
yeah, absolutely. Really, so her mind was really changed big time when she made the offer and they accepted the offer, because she was like, man, this is real. Yep.
I love it. So let's shift the talk now over to the tenant side of things. So we watched in that video, guys. If you did not watch the video, go back to the start of this once this live stream is over. We show Beau going through and talking with the sellers of the property at the closing table, the whole thing. But with those tenants, what did you end up doing with that property, and where is it now?
So I took title to the property, and then I directly communicated with the tenant the same day. I got the information. And the seller actually did not give me the person's right name, at least so I think so right now. I called. They said, hey, that's not who I am. This is my name. I've lived here for 10 years. I said, great. Anyways, I'm your landlord. This is kind of how you pay your rent, that kind of a thing. Just a shop talk, right? Just a little bit, just talking back and forth. And I said, so for the rest of today, through the end of the month, it's going to be this price. Right. It was just whatever the prorated amount was for the rest of the month. I said, this is going to be the price. And the guy's like, okay, I'll be in touch, and he didn't really say like, I'm not paying you at this time. He was like, I'll be in touch. And I knew he wouldn't pay me. I just was going to tell him this is how much it would be anyways.
Yeah.
Then I sent him that in a text message. Hey, this is how much it's going to be. He didn't respond. Well, then rolled around the first part of the month, and he goes, I sent him a message. Hey, this is what's owed. And he was like, no, he's like, I'm not paying rent because this is broken and this is broken in the house. And I was like, well, I say, I'm sorry to hear that. I wasn't aware of those things. I will send out somebody to fix those things and repair them right away. And then I'll be right over to collect rent.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm not paying. I said, okay. And I just literally just left it at that, because when you go to get in front of a judge, you don't want to have a book of text messages of he said this and he said this. Maybe you're upset and angry.
Yeah.
You say something that you shouldn't say. And so I decided to shut my mouth. The next person I contacted was my attorney, and we got the letters and the stuff that we needed to get out to that person right away to let them know that we're serious and we expect our funds and they need to vacate our property.
And so have you guys sent that letter out yet? And kind of how did he reply to that?
Oh, yeah. He has not replied. And so we sent a 7-day letter. In our state, we had to send this. We have sent a 7-day letter. And I also have already started the eviction process as well through hiring an attorney. And then they take that and that's handled through them. I don't do that part.
Yep.
So they handle the eviction part. And typically what I expect to happen would be that we start the eviction process, and in between now and when the eviction is complete, that they will move at some point.
Yep. And so guys, what I want you guys to take away from this is, number one, there is a process. It's not scary, but there's a process. And so when you're purchasing properties, especially that have existing tenants where the properties might not be in great shape, and if the seller isn't communicating that they're paying rent consistently, you have to be prepared for this. And don't look at it as something bigger than it is. Each state's different, but it's just one of those problems you have to solve. And then your offer is reflecting in that problem you have to solve, right? But the big thing I want you guys to take away from this is some of you might be watching this going, man, is that what we have to do as real estate investors, is evict people out of homes? Is that good for the person? And the mindset shift that I want you all to approach with this is this. Number one, if there's a person living in the property with that mindset that probably isn't taking care of the property, it's probably very apparent that they're not on the inside and the outside, and they're not paying rent. If you're living around that property, it's decreasing your value and the value of everyone's house around it, right? So number one, if you have a tenant that is not paying and likely treating it bad, we're making the choice then to say we're going to give that tenant more care, the person who's choosing to make bad decisions, than the people that live directly around them. Okay. And so we're saying we want to beautify neighborhoods. Now, if there's a person that's a bad actor in a neighborhood, how do we then remove the bad actor, get them to show some responsibility in life, and put someone in who's willing to be responsible, which is going to make the rest of that neighborhood great? So you guys as investors are people who beautify neighborhoods, make amazing neighborhoods more amazing. And we take underperforming real estate and make it performing. Okay. That's better for everybody, except for that person who hasn't shown responsibility. Last thing here, and this is just kind of one of those things, like, if your kid is doing something, I don't want to equate a grown person with a kid, but sometimes those behaviors are very similar. If your kid is doing something they should not be doing over and over and over and over again, and it's harming things, and they're just like, no, I'm not going to do it. As parents, I've learned that the last thing to actually change their pattern and guide them towards the right path in life is just let them do that thing that is clearly damaging, clearly against what they should be doing, and to let them continue to live in that. The best thing to do is to show them some of that tough love, and it works with the kids. Hopefully it's working with this tenant as they start to move out to where they go, man, I've actually got to take some responsibility. So I just want to cast that vision, because some people might be thinking, man, evicting, that's the greedy landlord. No, I think it's the opposite of that. It's helping everybody in the situation, especially the neighbors of that property, turning it to performing. And now that person needs to go learn some life lessons to grow up a little bit. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. There's a time and a place for every single thing, especially when you give somebody an ample amount of time, to make things right. And, there's a lot of things that we gave them time to do, and which I even gave them until actually December 1st to move out of the property, like 45 days. to move out prior to all of this.
Yep.
So basically free living. I don't know what else to do, right? You do your very best, and you have to take things and do the right thing. So
yep, I love it. So there's a couple questions popping up, but so for this property, we'll kind of close the book in this property, answer some questions. With this one, are you planning on holding it, or are you going to sell it?
No, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell this. I'm going to sell this house. I'm going to take that. And the way I view these kind of deals is, I'm ready. I'm ready. So one of the things how I view a lot of these kind of things is, say you have money sitting on the sideline and you have a problem property that comes up like this, and you have the cash sitting around. It's a cheaper property, and you could take this. The house is in decent condition. You could deal with the situation and the problem, and you could turn around and make that money down the road. Maybe it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I'm taking this $10,000, and maybe it's going to cost me $1,000 to get them out. And I take this money and it's an investment. Always remember that this is an investment. I'm taking this, solving this. We're going to stabilize this asset. Over time, we will have something that will actually be better in the neighborhood. And I'm going to turn this 10 grand into $25,000, $30,000. If we're really, really fortunate, we should be able to make that $25,000 or $30,000 flip there, which would net us probably roughly $20,000 if everything goes well. And so that's the way I view it. I just view it as an investment. I'm putting this money in this property, and over time, maybe it's a little bit now, it might be a little bit later, and it's going to turn around and pay me in the future. Not just quick money, but a little bit of long money as well.
Dude, it's the evergreen cash flow. So when I talk about evergreen, there's hamster wheel income, which is your transactional income. That's the traditional wholesaling, or if you're an agent, it's the cash and commissions, which that's great. Okay, having some good transactional income is awesome, but then having a plan to take some of that and move it into the evergreen consistent income is that's where you get your freedom. That's where the freedom comes from.
Yep.
Absolutely. So James asking a question: when they accepted the offer right away, did you think, oh crap, did we miss something? So yeah, that's probably a really common question, that especially the newer investors or ones that haven't done the volume of deals that you have done, is how did you know with that offer that there wasn't going to be something massive potentially popping up that could devalue it further?
Okay, so there's a couple different things here. Very good question. First off, James, a couple things. I have a lot of experience, and that does hedge against mistakes at some level. You're not mistake proof by any means, but that does help a little bit. It does help that I know my area really well, and I have a lot of knowledge about how real estate, a transactional real estate, or real estate in general, works in our city. I understand those things. So my experience, and that has helped me a lot make quality decisions. And so here's how I make choices in these areas to answer this question. Especially when you're in like D-class areas like this, where it's cheaper properties, they're rentals. If the plumbing and the electricity works, and it is a relatively clean property, someone can stay in the home, live there, and pay rent in the property, and it is safe for somebody. My thought is, and once we've gotten eyes on the property, when someone's walked in there, seen the house, we've gotten pictures, looked at it. And Madison actually brought her dad with her to view this property, which he has some construction experience, right? And he took pictures and all this stuff for us. And he's kind of helping his daughter out a little bit to keep her safe while she goes out and looks at properties.
Yeah.
I made an educated decision on 10,000 is a number for me that I feel safe, that in my market I can spend $10,000 and not really worry too much about it. I think I can always get my money back. And even if I didn't get my money back, it's only $10,000.
Yep. Okay.
Dude, and that's a calculated risk that I have, an educated risk as well that I take.
And so one of the benefits with that, and this is, dude, and that's huge. So one of the benefits that helps you with speed, right? So when some people are wondering, well, how can Beau close on a deal in 3 days? Well, a big hunk of it is just really putting in those reps and learning the market more and more. Because when you learn the market, now Beau doesn't have to go do the extra inspection time. He doesn't have to delay before he can make an offer. Now, if you're newer, You'll get there. The only way that you can get there is by making offers, by driving neighborhoods, by looking at everything, and just really learning about the values in those neighborhoods. So you can get more speed and velocity with your offers and stand out in that market more by knowing the market really well and getting that confidence up, like Beau was saying. Really good question.
The thing I thought, one of the things I think about too is I'm in this house at $10,000. Worst case scenario is I get my money back. I mean, I guess worst case would be burned down, but the worst case scenario as far as just financially on this deal is like, could I sell it to somebody else like JP who was on here? Could I sell it to him for 15 or 17 and just walk away immediately? And the answer is absolutely. JP would take this in a heartbeat and I can close tomorrow for that. You know, I could get my money back. And that's the way what is the worst case scenario for me is I make $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000. That's my worst case scenario. And that's the way I view deals like this.
Cool.
Beau, I got a question for you. Earlier you were talking about, you know, there's a lot of reasons people get rid of their houses and sell for a massive discount. It was kind of making me think, are there, you know, I know you're running paid ads, you're doing SEO, you're getting the bulk of your leads from evergreen marketing, which is incredible. Are you doing anything like Gary V style trash talk league, driving around neighborhoods, going to estate sales? Are you doing anything, I guess, non-traditional to find some of these leads or to find sellers?
Oh, that's a good question. So I do a lot of JV deals as well. Locally, people bring me a lot of deals in my local market. I think just because I had the experience and I've been around for a bit of time and I know what I'm doing. So I think people bring me a lot of deals that way. I have meetups. And people come to the meetups and we do deals together, partner up like that, and also drive for dollars. So like that's a great way to be getting deals. It's phenomenal. I do all that kind of stuff. So
nice.
That's awesome.
Hosting a meetup. That's awesome. Was that going through COVID too, or no?
No, it was not going through COVID. We started it up again this year, spring of this year. Yeah,
I like it.
Winter, maybe we've gone for about a year solid now.
And dude, that right there, that's something for sure. Even the newer people, right, where you guys can step in and be the connector. There was an industry before I owned Carrot. I was trying to enter into an industry where I was a newbie. People didn't know me. I wasn't the expert. And what I did was I actually started to create the group. I started to create the networking group for that industry. It became what, you know, the mastermind that you're in now, Beau, the family reunion. That's what that business became. Is I was the connector in that industry, but I didn't have a lot of experience. I wasn't the big guy. I just said, can I create the spot where we can all come and have a conversation and learn from each other and grow? And just by being the person that was the person that got people together, then all of a sudden you're an expert. All of a sudden you're the person that people reach out to. Anytime there's a new investor in Louisville, they're probably like, man, you got to go to Beau's meetup, and that's where you're going to meet more people. Yep. Right. So you guys don't have to wait until you're a really experienced person in it. You can just be the connector. Okay, that's it. Just focus on being the connector.
Everybody should start some level of a meetup. It could be at a restaurant with your friends. It could be with 10 or 15 people. Yep. It could be just something really simple to connect other people together and just bring other investors together, whether you're brand new or you've been doing this for a while. I would absolutely encourage people to be doing that.
I love it. So we're going to shift into the back part of this episode, but I've got a couple quick announcements before we do. So for those of you who had just jumped on, a lot of some of the deals that we've walked through this past, several months with Behind the Deal with Beau, with Keith, have came from Google Ads. Okay. And so that's one thing I want you guys to look at is how can we ramp up our leads, go into our Carrot sites, going into the new year, into the first quarter. And one thing that we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be helping you guys do that. So December 8th, which is next week from the time that we're recording this live, if you're listening to the podcast version of this, you can still engage in this. We're doing a live training called 60 Days to a Deal. Now, I don't know the URL for that now. Do you know the URL for that, Brady? Or do we have it set up?
I will pipe it through. So if you're listening to the podcast, go to our Facebook or YouTube. No, this is terrible. Go to our Facebook and YouTube and find the link in the comments here. Okay,
cool. So we'll link it up, and that's how new it is right there. We're actually going to go pick a new market. We're going to launch a brand new ad campaign with new landing pages from the Carrot system. We're going to show all the data. We're going to show the cost per lead, how many clicks, the keywords that are working, the ones that aren't working. And then every other week, every 2 weeks, we're going to follow up and do a live like this. We're going to pull up the campaign. We're just going to show, hey, what's working and what's not working. hey, let's modify this keyword. Let's modify these bids. Let's up these bid strategies. And we're going to see if we can't pull a deal out in the first 60 days. Now, the reason we pick 60 days is because whenever I've gone into a new market with the client, not as me as a partner there, but as a client running their traffic with Brendan on my marketing team, he'll run their traffic. So we can always have our hands in some data and always be learning. So we can make everybody else's website across the whole ecosystem even better. Every time we go into a new market, it's very, very high chance we pull our first deal out within 60 days. I think it's only happened once or twice in the maybe dozen or 2 dozen times I can remember where it hasn't happened within the first 60 days. The first market was Miami. That one was harder, but we shifted to Port St. Lucie. We pulled deals out there way quicker. But this is going to be the 60-day do a deal series, looking over our shoulder, myself and Brendan on our team. We're going to be generating these leads in a market we're going to announce on December 8th next week. We're going to show the leads coming in. We'll bring on Beau to talk about the negotiation, how they're going. We're going to hopefully close the deal in the first 60 days and show you guys start to finish how to do it. I want to see you guys doing more of that. So click the link that we're going to be posting here through, and or make sure you're paying attention if you're a Carrot customer to your email, because this is only for Carrot customers. Okay. If you're not a Carrot customer yet and you're like, man, I'm not a Carrot customer yet, you get access to this live training by becoming a Carrot customer. It's going to be available for all Carrot customers, no matter what plan type, starting December 8th. A live stream, about a 90-minute live stream, step-by-step on December 8th. Then every 2 weeks after that, we're going to be updating you guys until we close that deal. And then we'll bring that whole deal into Behind the Deal. And we're gonna show how the whole thing happened in one shot here, guys. So keep an eye out in your inbox as a Carrot customer and get it. If you're not a Carrot customer yet, y'all, this is a perfect time to become one. And we have our Cyber Monday deal. You can become a Carrot customer right here. $99. You're going to get a couple months of the advanced marketer plan. You're going to get some bonuses. One of those bonuses is the 60-day to a deal with Google Ads training that we're going to start next week. And you've got to be on live. Okay, so that's the caveat. You've got to be on live to get the training. Okay, so you got to be on live to get the training. We're not going to be putting all the recordings out in perpetuity. You'll probably get access to the recordings for a little bit of time. But our aim with this, guys, is to get people motivated about engaging in this, doing it while we're doing it. And we're putting a little bit of a time pressure on you. Show up live with us. You got a few days to watch the recordings, and that's it. And then we're going to be taking them down probably sometime in January or February. We want to help you guys get that deal. So guys, carrot.com/cyber to engage in our Cyber Monday deal. If you're not a Carrot customer yet, perfect time to. If you are a Carrot customer, the other Cyber Monday deal over there, it's a $500 package, gives you amazing bonuses, including our Google ad campaign. Up to a certain amount of people can get that, and you're going to get this 60-day do a deal series as well. So guys, go check it out, carrot.com/cyber. Any questions the audience has, pop them through. I'm going to toss it over to Brady for the final segment.
Yeah, I think we're good on questions here. Our last segment, we like to do something behind the deal called tips that actually work. Just real simple, real easy to implement tactical tips you can go do, usually on your website, something to do with marketing. And so the one I have for this week is testimonials. We talk about testimonials a lot, and we've talked about video testimonials before. One thing we haven't talked about is just probably the easiest form. Carrot has a feature called Testimonial Blocks. I'm going to pull up my screen and share real quick here. But if you go into your Carrot site, there's actually a really easy way to add testimonials and have them pop up and rotate at different pages on your website so they're always there. Looks like, Trevor, you want to share your screen here?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I forgot I had this up, man. For sure. So I'm gonna bring up a couple few sites, and so this one right here, this is kind of one form of credibility. This isn't a testimonial, but bringing in kind of some logos. My preference, though, guys and gals, for testimonials. Let me see if I can find some good ones here. I'm going to show you the good and bad on this. Okay, so there's a certain format for your testimonials that's going to work best and perform best. And I'm going to show you how this is meeting most of them, but not all of them. Then I'll show you an example where it meets all. So this is a Carrot site. This is Tom Caffarella, the top home buyer in all of Boston, owns a big brokerage up there as well. His site has been customized pretty heavily and it looks amazing. This is a Carrot site, guys. This is a Carrot site, which is really cool. So it still gets the page speed performance. gets our amazing support, gets the tech stack. You don't have to worry about the custom site side of it. We even made our websites about 50% faster on mobile this summer. We're going to always continue to make those updates. So if you go buy a custom website, those future updates are not going to happen, or you got to pay that person a bunch of money and hope that they're on top of it. Most custom sites I see, we did a blog post just recently where our websites are over 60% faster than custom websites. And so this is an amazing way to have a custom look feel through the concierge program, while also leveraging the Carrot system. So let me go back down here. The best way for the best format of a testimonial is always video. Okay, so if we were to always ask, what is the primary format that I would suggest? Video is the primary format, because you can see the person talking. You can tell that it's a real person. And testimonials are only good if they're believable, right? If they're real, if people can truly believe that it's real. Because there's been a lot of people posting testimonials over the years in all kinds of businesses that aren't real. And so people have some level of skepticism when they start to see a bunch of testimonials. So a video eliminates that skepticism. The second best type of testimonial, if you don't have a video, is a picture with the person next to the words that they're saying. Okay, so if you don't have a video, just get a picture of the person or get a picture of the house. A picture always amplifies the credibility of that testimonial. If you don't have a picture, then you can still add good testimonials, and you can just do the actual testimonial with a headline. So the one upgrade that I would add to this testimonial block here is I would add a headline to it. And this is a big upgrade because most people are very, very busy, y'all. Most people are really busy when they're sellers. They're flipping through your websites. And we need to make sure that we're grabbing their eyes with stuff that's relevant to us, with the problems or objections that we have in our minds. And in marketing, there's something that we call join the conversation that's already going on in the mind of that prospect. So the conversation that's going on in their mind is they know what situation they're going through. They want to get it solved, and they probably have some skepticism of that someone can actually close on their house quickly and for cash because their real estate agent or someone said that they can't, right? So with your testimonials, you want to stop the scroll with the headline. And so you'll go in here, figure out what's the most compelling part of the testimonial. So let's read this one. It says, it's a great company. I did research, obviously, guys, as well. You had some really great reviews. In my firsthand experience with Chris, the representative of your company couldn't have been better. We'll always recommend you guys for anybody who asks. There's not like a really compelling line out of this. I would always suggest that your headline is an objection that someone has. Hey, can they really close quickly? Pull out that part of the testimonial where it says they close way faster than I ever could have believed, and put it as a headline up here in bold. Okay. Or if the objection that they have is, are they actually trustworthy? Okay. Pull that part out and put it up in the headline and say something like, they did everything that they said that they would do on time. I'd work with them again. That's trustworthy stuff. If they have an objection that they think you're going to lowball them, right? Then find that part of that testimonial and bring it out there into a headline so they can see it when they're scrolling that says, they actually paid me more than I thought that they would. Okay. So guys, use testimonials, use the testimonial bar up here for logos if you want to, or a testimonial. And then you can insert testimonials throughout your website. It's going to dramatically increase your conversion. Not just on your visitor to lead, but it's going to increase your conversion on lead to deal. So get that updated, use our visual editor, and make it happen, y'all.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Trevor. I think that's about it for today. Any last words, Beau? Anything you want to share from this deal? Or anything about the amazing cooking device we covered at the first beginning of this call?
Well, so that one there, it's actually like a fire pit. Dude, Beau, do you have the grill accessories or anything?
I'm about to get them.
I got one.
Oh, did you? Oh, man.
I haven't used it yet, though.
I really want to cook a steak over that.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. So let me just say this, just about the real estate stuff too, is a lot of times you can watch shows like this, and you can watch us talk about $10,000 deals. You can watch us talk about big deals, small deals, whatever, that we talk about on every one of these, whether it's me on here or not. You can see a lot of different success. But let me say this, to get to that level of success, whatever level of success you want to get to, it just takes being really consistent. And I know that's such a simple thing to say, and it's a lot of times very cliche, but consistency, especially right now in times where you don't want to go do things, like it's holiday season, right? We're going to go out and go do a lot of fun stuff, take a break. But now push down the gas pedal, like literally just all hands on deck,
Hmm.
and you're ramping up towards the next portion, your next season, which is, at the time of this recording, we're moving into early December. Right now, we're going to be coming into, 2022. I mean, now's the time to be really thinking and strategizing about the next time. And the only way you get deals like that is by consistently making offers. And the people who are the very best in any business, they're just brilliant at the basics. And never forget those little things. It's not the next strategy that you need. It's just consistency over time, and be obsessed. Like, be obsessed with follow-up, talking to people, negotiating, making offers. And over time, your business, you're going to get these crazy $10,000 deals. You'll get huge spread deals that we've talked about in the past. So just be consistent. And over time, you're going to have a lot of really cool things to talk about and some really cool stories.
Dude, I love it, man. I love it. And carrot clause. So Brady, are we doing the giveaway now, or is that post production?
After the call. So everybody who's watching this live, take your biggest takeaway from this episode and go to Instagram or Facebook and tag us at Get Carrot if it's on Instagram. Facebook is just search for Carrot or Investor Carrot. Hashtag behind the deal with your biggest takeaway from this episode. And we're going to pick someone and give away our whole Cyber Monday bundle for free. It's so much training in there, so much value. I'm not even going to go into it. It's nuts. But if you want to check out the training as well, go to carrot.com/cyber. That's all I got.
That's a really good deal. It actually, it is a really good deal.
It's the only time we ever do this each year. Like, we'll open up a Cyber Monday deal once a year. We don't do any other sales because we're already underpriced on every plan that we've got. So guys, go there. We've got 2 packages, one for existing customers, the $497 package, which gives you a bunch of amazing things in there. And it gives you the ad campaign that we're going to be using next week, right? So that's the campaign. So you're going to have it with you. And then the $99 package is for the newer customers. Guys, right here, I'm going to finish with this is thank you, marketing team, for setting up a really, really cool page for Behind the Deal. But guys, go to carrot.com/deal, carrot.com/deal to check out all of our Behind the Deal episodes, and to subscribe to make sure you get notified of our future Behind the Deal episodes. Every other week, every other Thursday, we do a Behind the Deal episode with one of our amazing clients breaking down a deal, like Beau Hollis, like Keith Sant. I think in a couple of weeks, we've got Adam and Lance from Texas going to break down an amazing deal that they've got, all Carrot campers, which is amazing. So guys, carrot.com/deal. Check out the other episodes, subscribe for updates, and make sure you're on live to get your questions answered. And we'll see you there. Guys, have an amazing, amazing rest of the week. Have an amazing Christmas holiday if we don't see you before then. And Beau, thank you, man. Appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on again. It's an honor.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Merry Christmas.